Thank you. We have no consent agenda, no old business or public hearing tonight. That brings us to our new business. We have item A, consideration action on a design plan for improvement to town green. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we move forward on the action on the design plan for improvements of the town green. And I guess we can get Butch to give us an update on that first, but it's with route design not to exceed $7,480.
Okay. I have a motion to award a contract with Root Design not to exceed $7,480. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emanuel. Further discussion of council.
Mayor and Council, I know I put a long summary, a longer summary than you're used to in your packet regarding this item, because there has been a lot of discussion. I guess we've talked about it the last few work sessions, and this is an important item for the city and for a lot of things that go on in the town green. A lot of folks who have an interest and work hard on the green in different ways. And I tried to give you some of the history that I've been able to dig out. Several of y'all have been involved in part of that history, but there has been back in 2010. The city did work with Piper O'Brien. I was in touch with Mr. Richard Kramer, who's an engineer with that firm, trying to find some work product, trying to find a contract and a scope of work that affected the green back then. Never did find a contract, did not find a scope of work, did receive a couple of renderings, which I think, Mayor, you passed those out over the last couple months, and also received a survey, which hopefully we can use part of. We hope we can anyway. This $7,480, that is a maximum amount of money that will be required. But when we really couldn't come up with the contract and everything from Piper O'Brien, we did find out, obviously, the mayor and council did proceed with electrical work on the green, proceeded with lighting on the green. We found contracts and checks for that work that was done. And we saw a proposal, several proposals, as a matter of fact, for further work. And it's kind of interesting, after talking to Mayor Oberholzer tonight, he said that, that conversation did stop. There was nothing proceeded past the electrical and the lighting, and he said it was because of Mr. Spahn's proposal over on Wisteria, that he thought maybe the focus was turning over there and you weren't sure what kind of resources you wanted to put into the town green. Everybody has a different interpretation there, I guess. But what has transpired in the last couple months is we did put out an RFQ, and we had 3 responses from engineering, landscape architecture firms to finishing the master plan or continuing the master plan work on the green. A small committee met and interviewed those 3 firms and unanimously chose to proceed with Root Design Studio. And so that kind of brings us up to date. That occurred last week, and that's why this item is on the agenda. This was the date that I was supposed to report back, and basically that's my report. This $7,480 will be the maximum amount. We're going to try to dig up even more. We're still talking to Piper O'Brien, trying to dig up everything that we possibly can use. Mr. Kidd who is with Root Design, is totally on board with using whatever we can. So this is the maximum amount, and it will finish up, and there will be a lot of input from users of the green and the mayor and council on the items that get put into completing the master plan.
Okay. Additional comments?
Yeah, how many of you have been over on Town Green at one of our events? Bunch of you? Well, it functions well. We got a lot of opportunities to do some things to it. Any of you have an old used car at the house that's great mechanically sound, looks, you wish you could put some tires and wheels on it, paint it, make it look real pretty, make it a little more functionally better. Maybe the window doesn't work real well. That's kind of how I vision the town green and what we're going to do with some of the SPLOST funds to do that. We're changing some of the events that we're doing. We're bringing in a few different things. We need to be a little more cordoned off. So we're looking at some low knee wall type stuff, some shrub barriers and things like that. We want to make it more functionally accessible and easier to use. That's what the goal here is. The long-term plan is the town center, and that green becomes even larger and becomes even bigger. So we're not looking at those type of improvements, but we are looking at things that'll make it, perhaps we put the porta potties on this side of the road instead of over here. Those kind of things, but make it so that it makes sense. So that's why we're looking at this thing. I think with the addition of our mobile stage, we didn't have that when all this was going on before. So some of the information is dated, and we just want to get a fresh set of eyes on it and continue to make the green probably one of the most popular spots outside of our Briscoe Park that people come to and enjoy, the activities that we have. So that's the main crux of the need to do that.
Additional comments?
I'd just like a little bit of clarification on what this latest proposal is going to give us. When we get to the end of this, we are then ready to do actual construction. We have what we need.
You will have a master plan update with a plan that everybody would have participated in and had a chance to adopt. We will be ready to move to the construction phase, basically coming up with bid specs. We're working with a budget. We're working with a $250,000 budget that's in the SPLOST fund. So we will be right at the doorstep of the construction phase.
Additional comments? Just to make sure everyone knows that the town green is the green piece of property there on 78, catty corner from City Hall. We purchased that property. It used to be a shopping center, and when I was on council and Councilwoman Bender, it was the vision of then Mayor Oberholzer, and we demolished the shopping center and it turned into a gathering place, a town green. Back in 2010, 2011, we did several master plans for what we wanted to see the town green look like. As Councilman Howard explained, a small, low-line brick wall, landscaping, entranceway signs, so that you would know this was going to be the centerpiece into our town, with not welcome signs, but City of Snellville signs, farmers market signs, crosswalk improvements between City Hall and the town green area, and things of that nature. We also were going to put a permanent bandstand out there. We then bought the mobile stage, and so the need for a permanent bandstand changed, and we've moved forward slowly. We've graded the town green, and we've put out lighting out there all the way around, but we did pay for some master design concepts back in 2010, 2011, and so this is something that the town green development is something that's always been very important to me. Last year when we settled the lawsuit, the service delivery strategy lawsuit, the SDS lawsuit with the county, we received a couple of $1 million, and I asked council at that time to spend some of the money to finish the town green project. We were unable to come to an agreement with council, and so I'm excited now to see council finally moving forward with this project. I find it very disturbing that we spent $11,500, excuse me? I find it very disturbing that we spent $11,500 to Piper O'Brien and we can't find out what we paid for or get any reports. I've requested from staff copies of the invoices that we received from Piper O'Brien in 2011, and I've contacted our project manager with Piper O'Brien. Jeff, my cell phone battery died. I don't have his last name, but he is to be pulling those contracts for us so we can see what we have paid for, because it's not good business to have spent this money and not have arguably gotten anything in return for it. But in any event, if moving forward with Root Design Studio is what it's going to take for council to get the Town Green project finished, then I will support that tonight. With that, I will call the question.
Madam Mayor? Just to clear one point. There's a difference between spending money that the taxpayers of the property taxpayers of Snellville paid to improve the park, when there's been money set aside from SPLOST to fix the park. I was not for spending property taxes to do the improvements to the park when we had SPLOST money set aside for it. So just to make that clear, it's not that we didn't turn down improvements to the park. We turned down the fact that we were going to pay for it out of property tax money when we had SPLOST money set aside. So just wanted to clear that up.
Councilman Wentz, I never mentioned property tax money. I think if you listened, I was saying SDS. It was not property tax money. It was settlement money from the county, because we had spent the SPLOST money we had allocated for the Town Green to buy the mobile stage, but we're splitting hairs on this. With that, I will call the question. All those in favor of the motion as stated signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, that's 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item B, we have a vacancy. We actually have 2 vacancies on our Snellville Art Commission. Tonight, I'm putting forward Kathy Martis to be a Snellville Public Arts Commissioner. She has been actively involved with the Snellville Arts Commission. She put on the Christmas Carol performance that we did in December. She routinely volunteers for the Arts Commission, even though she technically is not a member of the commission. So I'm asking council to confirm her appointment tonight. All those in favor of the appointment of the nomination of Kathy Martis to the Snellville Public Arts Commission signify by raising your right hand. That's 6 in favor. All those opposed, that's 0 opposed. Mr. Bice, if you will tell her she is now official. Oh, I did not see you sitting back there. I apologize. Stand up, Kathy. Thank you.
Excuse me, I don't think this appointment would be official without some recognition. Kathy has worked very hard on a number of projects, and I think she's just going to be an absolutely outstanding addition to the council. I'd just like to welcome you.
Next, item C, we have consideration action on approval of Eastside Medical Center's request to use the mobile stage on April 26, 2014. Do I have a motion to approve the mayor to execute a contract of usage with the Eastside Medical Center for the mobile stage on April 26, 2014?
So moved.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. Item D, consideration action on award of bid for Dorian Cove Stormwater Project. Do I have a motion to approve executing a contract to the Dickerson Group, not to exceed $32,500?
Motion to approve awarding contract to Dickerson Group.
There is a motion. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Kraus. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That now concludes our agenda and brings us to council reports. Mr. Witt.